People, you're welcome back once again to elveelafashionschool. Today's class is going to be on how to make an off-shoulder smoked dress with a balloon sleeve. If this sounds like what you want to learn, please stay with me till the end of this video. Right here on the table, I folded the fabric into two. This is the open end. This is for the front panel. This is for the back panel, folded into two. So I use the biggest circumference of the body, which is the hip. The hip measurements I have here is 37. When you divide that by 2, you get 9.2. So I just added 3 inches for the smoking allowance and also for the side seam. So everything now 12¼ inch. So because it's an off shoulder, I'm taking off 4 inches for the length. Measure out what you're taking off. You can do 4, 5 or 6 inches, but for this class I'm taking off 4 inches for the length of the dress. So these here are the full lengths of the dress. Then I added 1 inch for the hem. Next thing I want to be doing here is to mark the armhole. On this open end, I'll just be marking the armhole measurements. You still take off whatever inches you're putting off. I'm putting off 4 inches. So the armhole I'm working with here, it's 7.5. So I'll just mark the 7.5 like so. This is the 7.5. Then just come in here by 3 inches. So I'll just connect it here. So I'll be cutting that off. It's super easy. So we are done with the bodies. Just know that you're working with the biggest circumference of the bodies. If the bust is the biggest circumference, you use the bust. But in most cases, the hip is the biggest circumference of the body. So you just add 3 inches to it. You can add 4, you can add 3, but I'm making it for a small size person. So I just added 3 inches to quarter of the hip measurement. So I'll keep this aside. Then go over to the sleeve. So the length of the sleeve is 13 inches. Added 1 inch to it. Now this is the upper part of the sleeve, which is the balloon area. Then the round sleeve is 11 inches. The fabric is placed on folded it into two. I'm supposed to be using 5.5, making it 11. This is 5.5, making it 11. So, but I just added 8.5 inches because it's a balloon sleeve. I'm going to be gathering this end here. Gather here. Then this up area, I'm going to be using an elastic to join it to the bodies. What I'll just do here now is just to bring the dress that we've already cut. This is the upper part of the sleeve. So I'll just place it like so. Like so. Then I'll cut it. I'll just trace it out. Then I'll cut it out. This is the band. Cut out also 2 unfold for the band. This is the wrong side. So the length of the band is 6 inches. The length of the band is 6 inches. I added 1 inch for hemming. Then the round is 8, but I did not use 8. I just added 3 inches to it, making it 7. So that's it. You're going to be using a smoked thread. So what I will just do here now is to mark 2 inches here. I'm leaving 2 inches on. This is the upper part of the dress. Just mark 2 inches here. So I'm going to start running the smoke thread. just mark 1/2 inch all around the bodies. This is 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Just mark 1/2 inch. So I'll just stop at 1 inch, which I initially left for the hem. So, but please note that this part is optional. It makes it easier when you start sewing with your elastic thread. Just serves as a guide for you to know where you run your elastic thread from. Please note that this is the right side of the fabric. So when sewing, the right side of the fabric should be facing you. Next thing is to start sewing. So this is the smoked thread. So what you just do, you just use your hand to roll in the thread, but please don't stretch it, because if you do that, when you start sewing, you won't have more stretchy effect on the fabric. So you just leave it the way it is and just roll it in. Then your normal thread will be on top as usual. We will just be sewing on the right side of the fabric. This is the right side. And you start sewing after the 2 inches mark you give. Here is the wrong side and here is the right side. The next thing is to place the right side together. Then I'll sew on 1 inch. And I'll be sewing it here. This is the armhole. I'll be closing it up here by 1 inch. The next thing is to close up the other side. So this is the armhole. So I'll just close it up on 1 inch. This is what you should get once you're done closing the side seams. I'll just turn it over to the right side. Draw up the gathered stitch. So once you're done with that one, the next thing you want to do is to measure your round sleeve for the upper sleeve. Just after you finish pulling the gathered stitch, the round sleeve I have with me is 11. So here is 12.5. I'll just gather it more. And here we have 11. So the next thing I want to do now is to place the both sides together. Here is the right side. Here is the right side. So you place the right side of the upper sleeve onto the right side of the band, like so. You sew it on 1/2 inch. At this point, you're not going to be using the smoked thread to sew. So as you're sewing, what you just have to be doing here is you'll be pulling the band just for it to align with the upper sleeve. Make sure to pull it gradually so that you don't rip off the elastic thread. So you bring them together like so and sew it on. You'll be sewing 1/2 inch on the band. So you just sew it on this part on 1 inch. This is the dress. This is the right side of the dress, and here is the sleeve. Here is the right side. So you just place them on the armhole seam line. Place them like so, and sew from here to this end. Sew from here also to this end. So we're going to be sewing that on 1/2 inch. What I've done on this other end, I will do same on this other side of the sleeve. So the next step is to fold in the elastic casing. Remember, we left 2 inches on the upper part of the dress, so I'm just going to be folding that in. And just make sure you leave an opening where you're going to be passing the elastic through. Pass the elastic. Just measure around the shoulder. For this dress I'm making, the shoulder round is 38 inches. So you just take away 2 inches from 38. So that's 36. So you're going to be cutting an elastic band of 36 inches. So what I'm just doing here now is to hem the dress. Here we call it a day on today's tutorial. So this is the final outlook of the dress. I want to say thank you very much for staying with me till the end of this video. Please, if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. If you're here to subscribe, please smash the subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell so you get notified each time I drop a new video. Thank you very much for your time. See you again on my next video.